First up, we head inside the Fayette County Courthouse in Uniontown, Pennsylvania. 34-year-old Anthony Sheffy has been charged with aggravated assault by driving, possession of a firearm, fleeing an officer, and a number of other charges. A year and a half earlier, an officer tried to pull Sheffy over for a traffic violation. But the defendant sped away and a few minutes later crashed into another vehicle. Sheffy fled on foot but was quickly arrested. No one was seriously injured in the crash. Today's hearing has been postponed, but before Sheffy, who's free on bond, can leave for the day, deputies learn that he has a felony warrant for an unrelated DUI charge in another county. Officers escort Sheffy to an office while the sheriff signs the warrant. But before they can put the cuffs on him, Sheffy breaks free. First, Sheffy shoves a deputy out of the way and begins running. With deputies in hot pursuit, Sheffy sprints down a long hallway as this onlooker watches the activity. Sheffy makes it to the front steps. But as he leaves the building, another deputy, who was alerted about the escape, arrives shouting at Sheffy to stop. Sheffy ignores the order. That's when the officer fires his taser, sending Sheffy crashing to the pavement. Other deputies arrive as Sheffy's put in cuffs and flown to a West Virginia hospital for treatment. He suffered a head injury from the fall, but fully recovered after spending about a week in the hospital. Sheffy was then charged with flight to avoid apprehension, resisting arrest, and disorderly conduct, released on $20,000 bond. As for his initial charges and his DUI, those are pending. Next, we're in Detroit, Michigan for a progress review hearing. 58-year-old Frank Seals has been convicted of operating a vehicle while intoxicated. 3 years earlier, Seals was pulled over for driving erratically. And after failing a field sobriety test, he was arrested and charged with operating a vehicle while intoxicated. He eventually pled guilty and was sentenced to 1 year of probation, plus 46 hours of community service and court fees. Today, Seals appears remotely before Judge E. Lanice Bryant, because according to his probation officer, Seals has failed to complete his community service. The judge instructed Seals to wait in a breakout room for his attorney, who was in another hearing. But Seals has prematurely entered the virtual courtroom, and Judge Bryant doesn't like it.
Sir, did you speak to someone in the breakout room?
No, I haven't.
So why did you come out?
Why did I come out?
Why did you come out of the breakout room? Because I said, go in the breakout room. Do not come out of the breakout room until you speak to someone. So why are you out of the breakout room if you haven't spoken to anyone?
I don't know how to do this Zoom thing.
Well, all you had to do is be still. I don't know what that means. You didn't have to do anything. The reason why you out of the breakout room because you're pushing buttons and touching things.
This Zoom is new to me.
We've been Zooming for 2 years, and this is not...
The judge doesn't seem to appreciate the defendant's excuses.
Mr. Seals, let me say something to you. You've been before me on more than one occasion. So one thing we know for sure is that you've been on Zoom on more than one occasion. Now, if you don't listen, don't do it. Don't do it. You interrupt me one more time, and it's not gonna turn out good for you. And I don't think it's nothing funny on here except the fact that you getting ready to face jail. So if you think that's funny, you can keep laughing.
After issuing her warning, Judge Bryant continues.
Now keep disrupting my courtroom, and it's not gonna turn out good for you. And you got one more time to do that east side roll your eyes at me, because I'm queen of the east side roll your eyes.
Wow.
Wow, that's what I'm thinking too. Every time you say something, I'm thinking, wow. Wow, I got up this morning for this. Every time you say something, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Later, after the judge deals with a few other cases, Seals and his attorney rejoin the hearing.
With respect to Mr. Seals' review, I do have an update from probation. It's not a good report. So it says he still needs to complete 46 hours of community service. Do they let him lay down?
I have.
What's the paper you holding up, Mr. Seals?
It's a community service where I completed my 46 hours.
Not according to court. So who did you turn that paperwork over to?
Miss Green has it. Miss Green is the one who told me that I had to report to her.
Miss Muldrow, can you call Miss Green and see if he completed this 46 hours, because I don't want to see him no more. So this is what I'm going to do. If he has completed those 46 hours, I am going to close him out. If he has not completed the hours, or if she didn't confirm them, what I'll do is I'll just put the matter on the docket.
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay, because I don't know what side of town he's from, but the east side of town, the east side in me, it rises up. It rolls up today with Mr. Seals.
Your Honor, you have been more than patient.
I'm trying to be. But y'all know what they say. You could take the girl out the east side. Take the east side out the girl.
A court clerk later confirmed that Seals had finished his community service, and his case is now closed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And same to you, Mr. Seals. Don't curse me until you completely log off of the Zoom.
You too. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you.
Next, we go to Wyandotte, Michigan for a probation violation hearing. 1 year earlier, 51-year-old single mom Dawn Mendoza pled guilty to operating a vehicle while visibly impaired. She was sentenced to 18 months probation plus $1,850 in court fines. She was also ordered to attend AA classes and be regularly tested for alcohol use. 3 months after being sentenced, Mendoza tested positive for alcohol, violating her probation. She was put on an alcohol tether for 45 days and told if it happened again, she'd be sentenced to 5 days in jail. Today, she appears before Judge Elizabeth DeSanto because, once again, she's tested positive for alcohol. She's represented by public defender Corey Westmoreland.
Counsel, what's happening today?
At this time, we are prepared to waive our right to have a hearing, and my client is prepared to enter a guilty plea.
Ask those allegations. How do you plead?
Guilty.
The judge attempts to review the state's recommended sentence.
Is the recommendation for you to continue to complete all terms of probation, pay a $50 probation violation fee? Ma'am, I need you to go somewhere that we don't have this background noise.
I'm trying to get to my car. Give me 2 seconds, please.
As Mendoza gets in her car, the judge continues reading the proposed sentence.
I apologize.
All right, so the recommendation is for you to continue and complete all terms of probation, pay a $50 probation violation fee, attend intensive outpatient, 30 days on the alcohol tether, and 5 days jail. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
The court looks up to your plea. And counsel, as to the recommendation.
As to the 5 days jail, I'd ask that be suspended at this time. And Ms. Mendoza has been nothing but upfront, open, and honest. She is apologetic for testing positive for alcohol. What happened was she was at work. Somebody made a pot of coffee, unbeknownst to her. In that coffee, they did put some alcohol.
How much of that coffee did you drink when you indicated that there was alcohol added to it?
Literally 4 big to-go cups of coffee. I know, I'm not trying to laugh.
You're telling this court you didn't taste the alcohol in your first couple sips?
I thought it was just a damn creamer. To be honest, I'm not lying. I was working and we were swamped and I just
a damn creamer?
I thought it was a different kind of creamer, flavored creamer. So no, I honestly did not know. And that is the truth.
The judge has heard enough and is ready to make her decision.
Okay, well, here's what the court's going to do. The court's going to indicate you to continue to complete all terms of probation, 30 days alcohol tether, 5 days jail.
Mendoza seems unhappy with her sentence.
I don't mind the jail. You want to send me to jail, that's fine. Take me away from my children and 2 jobs. But I cannot afford another tether. What you're putting on me is just another stress that I cannot handle.
Ma'am, then perhaps you shouldn't have consumed alcohol. You should have complied with all of your terms of
Your
probation.
answer for everything. I swear, man. Whatever you say, Your Honor. I guess I should start smoking weed like everybody else and get a medical marijuana card. Because you know what? I'm not understanding your court, but I did wrong. I'll assume my responsibility. But somebody else can go in there and drop 30 million damn weed dirties trying to get their damn medical marijuana card, and they get chances.
You're in court, so
but that's fine.
Ma'am, please,
No, that's
please
fine.
watch your language.
I'm upset. You know
Please
what?
watch
I'm
your language.
upset.
Ms. Mendoza, I would highly recommend that you stop arguing with the judge at this time.
Yep.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Mendoza served her 5 days in jail. She must also pay her remaining court fines of $1,325 and complete her remaining 9 months of probation, including the first 30 while wearing an alcohol tether. Next, we're in Bowling Green, Ohio for a sentencing hearing. 25-year-old Nicholas Luderman has pled guilty to aggravated vehicular homicide and aggravated vehicular assault. A year and a half earlier, police say Luderman was driving 120 miles an hour when he rear-ended another vehicle, sending it across the median and into oncoming traffic. The collision caused a chain reaction involving 5 cars, 2 of which went up in flames. 2 of the drivers, 19-year-old Andrew Jones and 23-year-old Cassidy Krasikwa, died at the scene. Several other passengers suffered injuries, some minor, others more serious. Luderman was unharmed in the accident and fled the scene. But just a few miles away, police say he got into another accident, this time crashing into a parked car and was taken into custody. His blood alcohol level was twice the legal limit. Today, Luderman appears before Judge Joel Coleman to hear his sentence. The prosecutor, Brian Booz, is asking for the maximum sentence of 42 years in prison.
As prosecutors, we often see impaired driving. We often see very reckless driving. In 10 years as a prosecutor, this is the first time I've seen such an extraordinary combination of the two. As disturbing as it is to drive 120 miles an hour, passing vehicles on the shoulder of the highway, to do so with a blood alcohol level well over the legal limit, to do that in that capacity is almost unfathomable, and the results in this case were catastrophic. The court can't impose a sentence that's going to bring back Cassidy or Andrew, but this court can impose a sentence that will hopefully deter others from engaging in this conduct and help prevent further tragedies like the one before this court.
The next person to speak is Nick Jones, whose 19-year-old son Andrew was killed in the crash.
Nick Jones, was my son. Andrew, I'll put it up here at his height. I'm living a parent's worst nightmare. Parents should never have to bury their children. As a father, I'm not only mourning my son, I'm mourning the dreams of what would have been. Instead of looking forward to living vicariously through my son, I've been sentenced to a life without him. He was killed by an irresponsible, self-centered individual. My son paid with his life because Mr. Luderman has no respect for the law or human life.
Before the judge imposes sentence, Luderman offers an emotional apology to members of the victims' families.
I'm so sorry for what I've done to every single one of you. It's something that will break my heart every single second for the rest of my life. I pray every single day for every single one of you that you guys will find peace. I am so sorry for taking your kids from you. I can't even begin to fathom how you feel, but my heart and love goes to every single one of you.
When Luderman was finished, Judge Coleman sentenced him to 25 to 29 years in prison. He'll be eligible for parole in 2047, when he'd be 57 years old. Next, we're in Niskayuna, New York for a sentencing hearing. 31-year-old Gina Hassan has pled guilty to aggravated vehicular homicide and assault. 16 months earlier, Hassan was driving erratically down this residential road when she crashed head-on into another car. The driver of that car, 77-year-old Dennis Farrell, was rushed to a hospital but died 11 days later. Kathleen Farrell, Dennis's wife of 51 years, was in the passenger seat and suffered serious injuries, but survived the crash. Hassan, who police say was drunk and high on Xanax, was unharmed in the crash. She was arrested at the scene. Today, in an emotional courtroom filled with friends and family of the victim, Hassan appears before Judge Mark Caruso to plead guilty and hear her sentence. Hassan has a previous conviction for DWI, so in addition to a possible prison term of 6 to 25 years, the state is asking that she never be allowed to drive again.
Because if Gina Hassan is on the streets are not safe for other people to drive.
Before Hassan is sentenced, Kathleen Farrell, who's made almost a full recovery, speaks about her husband and the trauma she experienced that day.
There was just no place to go. We were trapped. It was head on. It was a brutal, body-wrenching explosion. We had plans to celebrate my 10-year cancer-free anniversary, but I was alone. Dennis was gone.
Before she's sentenced, an emotional Hassan reads a statement to the court.
I have been consumed with guilt and regret. The world around me stopped when I was told of the irreversible heartbreak my actions caused.
When she's finished, Judge Caruso sentences Hassan to 6 to 25 years in prison, plus 3 years probation. She must also pay $7,000 in restitution to Kathleen Farrell. Upon her release, Hassan will be allowed to drive, but she'll be required to use an ignition interlock device which will measure her blood alcohol content whenever she attempts to start her car.